So because I have a reputation of collecting a little bit of everything, I often get offers from people trying to sell me stuff, their old toys or whatever they have lying around. A lot of times it's junk, but I just happened to yesterday be offered a Shogun Godzilla. Now this is kind of a grail item for me. It's a Godzilla figure that's huge. It was made in the late 70s. I think it was 1977. But he needs some money, so he's looking to get rid of his. I jumped at the opportunity. He's supposed to be coming over in a couple hours to drop it off, so I'm kind of excited to see it and own it. Alright, so Jason's here. He's got the Shogun Godzilla and a few other things that we're going to talk about and show off. So here we go.
The classic Mattel Shogun Warriors line Godzilla.
So what can you tell us about this thing?
This thing is pretty much awesome.
Was that 77?
Godzilla came out in 77. The toy line started in 76 and ran through 78. And they sort of added Godzilla after.
So Godzilla's got a shooting hand?
Yeah, now this we had there was a little issue with the spring, so the spring's been removed and it could be fixed, but I've just been resting the hand in there. I always thought it was really silly that he had a shooting hand, because it's not something that Godzilla, but the toy line had a lot of robots with hands that would shoot, parts that would shoot and stuff like that, so I guess they were trying to fit it in with that. But aside from that issue, he's complete, and his toes are in good shape. A lot of times when you find these guys, the toes will be broken off, or just pieces broken or whatever, tail not attached anymore. And commonly what happens, this lever, the plastic back then was just kind of cheap, in the 70s. So this lever broke off a lot, and when you find them now, it's hard to find one that's intact with this lever. But the lever operates as fire tongue, which I'm just kind of it still works, but I don't want to put too much tension on it or pressure. And I had it kind of displayed where you could kind of stick it out, so it's just like that. And then he's on wheels. All of the Shogun Warriors had these.
Was there a reason for the wheels?
I believe it was just for movement, just so you could kind of. Yeah, one of the prized possessions in my collection, but came upon some hard times, and I'm very happy he's going to a good home and someone who's going to truly appreciate him.
I've been bugging this guy about selling it to me for like 3 years.
You were the first person I contacted. So.
It's awesome.
So in addition to this, the Shogun Warriors line had several, I guess, do you pronounce it Machinder? Is that?
I've never pronounced it.
It's it's like they call it Machinder or Machinder, or they're just giant robots. And it was really cool. As a kid, for me, growing up, my parents would never buy me one, so as an adult, I had to get the whole set. But they were awesome, 2-foot tall robot that, could stomp through all your Star Wars figures or whatever, your other toys. So I brought a few of the guys. I don't have, there's one of the US release that I'm missing, and then there were 2 other ones that were released non-domestically, so I guess other parts of the world they have those.
Japan
and
gets all the good stuff.
Yeah, you can find them. Well, then there's Japanese ones, the Popey ones, which are really expensive. But, we'll start off with the leader of the Shogun Warriors, Mighty Mazinga, and this guy is just pretty badass. He's got all sorts of accessories and extras, including these missiles, which you could store on his shoulders or on his legs here, and then he's got the missile launcher hand. There you go. Works. He also has in his legs these little sheaths for his swords. So these guys were kind of like precursors to Transformers a little bit, and they had like the stuff where like the little ship. This guy's got busted off here, but he's got his little brain ship.
I didn't even know that. That's cool.
This is the original release of the Mighty Mazinga. The later ones, the chest piece was connected to it. This one isn't. It's kind of loose, and I've got a little bit of clay there because of the looseness, just to hold it in place. But and again, you've got the wheels on the bottom. Here we have Raideen, and this guy's pretty cool too. He's got this little homing thing that shoots out here, and there's a little trigger on his back that you can fire it. Nice. And this one really kept. Oh no, it won't go back in. Set that down for now. Yeah. So this one really reminded me kind of a Transformer in the way it's like you got his head right here, but then you can like bring his arms up for like when he flies.
Is he like a bird?
Yeah, and he's got like this like bird kind of But and once again, the shooting hand thing was kind of a with these guys. So this one here will shoot off. I'm not gonna do it, but well,
Yeah.
should I do it?
If you want.
Yeah.
It's got some
yeah,
force.
it's got a little bit of a.
Nice.
Overall, they're all in pretty good shape.
Right.
It's hard to find them, you know, not really beat up because they were heavily played with back in the day. So.
Right. I mean, because they're awesome. I mean, I think any kid would heavily play with these.
Yeah, they're. I mean, I loved having them. They were great, and they just look so cool too. So,
yeah, they're awesome.
Here we have Guy King. His hand came off here. This guy's got interesting because he's got a little articulation on his wrist there, but you can. Oops, I put that in backwards.
Did the box ever? Did it say like real fisting action?
I don't think it did, but I think it did say with shooting fist or something like that. And then this, you got a little bit of articulation again. The missiles, and then you can put his missiles in his chest, and he's got a button on the back here so you can fire. And then their heads move. His head moves as well. Not so much on that. So, and again, you've got the wheels on the bottom. So the last one that I have in my collection, there was one more that was released in the United States. That one was named Deimos, but I don't have that guy. He's kind of blocky looking. It actually looks kind of like a school bus.
Oh.
But the last one I have is Dragun, and I'm going to pull him out. He came with all sorts of accessories. I don't have all the accessories for Dragun, but he's kind of cool. He's got the head that spins. On this arm, he's got this thing here, and he had these axes that you put in there, and you push it back here, and you pull the lever, and then it fire the axe out.
Stuff like, you mean like a saw blade like this?
No, it
or?
was like an actual axe, like a battle axe.
With a handle and everything?
Yeah, like a little handle that went in there.
That's neat.
They were like real thin, kind of small. But in addition to that, he came with the Star Shooter, which I'm not going to put this on because over years it's cracked, so I'm going to fix that. But it would just clamp on there, and then there were these little like throwing star things that you put in here. But anyway, yeah, so that's minus Deimos, that's the complete set. They did put out a Rodan also.
I've seen that.
Which was kind of a later release.
The last time I saw it was $400.
They're hard to find, and if you can't, the wings flap, and if you can find it, usually the wings aren't working. So
cool.
Yeah, Shogun Warriors, but then obviously
this
the
is
king of all
neat.
monsters right there.
In any event, the Godzilla will be going to a good and loving home, and he'll be on display probably until I die.
Yeah.